Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Now recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. This is yet another Top 100. It is Top 100 Star Wars Characters, second edition. We did this about a year ago, but since then, many a thing has been released, many a thing has been read, many a thing has been watched. It felt appropriate to go ahead and revisit. I am Colton Robertson. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. So, last year, 2022, we capped our top 100 Star Wars characters. We recorded it a few months before we put it out. So, the conclusion to everyone else was April 11th, 2022 is when we last finished, but I think we recorded around February of 2022. So it has been over a year since we last did this.
A lot has changed.
Since then, Obi-Wan Kenobi has released. Since then, Andor has released. That's a big one. That's a big shakeup.
That is a big one.
Mandalorian Season 3, The Bad Batch Season 2, and I, on a personal note, have read a lot more Star Wars comics and have gotten into the High Republic, which is going to take up a good fifth of my top 100, which can say for sure was not the case last year.
And I can say on a personal note that my sequel love and attitude towards them has changed quite a lot. I was on a sort of the cusp of coming over the hate of the sequels that I had before and everything. I still haven't given them the proper rewatch they deserve, but my attitude is a lot better towards them, and it reflects in my Rey. I don't think. Let's see. For reference, Rey was 65 on my list before, and that's just kind of criminal.
That's just kind of criminal. I love that description of it. No, yeah, and got a lot of changes in mind. I do have the last year's doc alongside this one, and it's interesting because I think only 67 of the characters are the same, and only one of them is in the same spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. Yeah, I might have like two in the same spot, but I kind of basically redid my whole thing almost completely from scratch.
Yeah, some of them are one or two off. Some of them were top 10 and have dropped out. Some of them were top 50, or some of them were top 25 and have dropped into the bottom 50. That's how much some things have changed. So if you did listen to the last one, I just wanted to make it clear that this would be worth your time once again. We're not just going over the same shit. It's not the same episodes. It's not going to be the same discussion. There's more discussion to be had. And if this is your first time joining us, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. You're here because you love Star Wars, and we love Star Wars as well. So with that, we're going to do this in a few parts. We're not going to do it exactly like we did last year. Last year we did 4 parts, 100 through 76, 75 through 51, 50 through 26, and then the top 25. Now, that's nice and symmetrical, nice and sexy like that, but the top 25 took 3 hours and 40 minutes. So we are going to go ahead and split things up towards the end. This first part will probably be the same, 100 through 76. But beyond that, we can't guarantee you exactly how long these episodes will go. But this one, shoo-in. The first 25, the bottom 25 of the top 100 are coming up here. We start at 100, work up to 76. What do you say we begin?
Well, let's do it. Yeah, I started fun for the first 5. First 5, I just was like, I want fun people.
You had a good time.
Star Wars, you can, at the end of the day, you can have a character that really means a lot or that holds a lot of story value, but sometimes it's more fun it allows for characters that you can't have anywhere else. I don't know, or
100%.
maybe an actor to come in and do a role that you would never expect them to do.
There you go. So what do you start with? What's 100 then for you?
It is Captain Bombardier, and that is Jack Black's character that just was recently played in The Mandalorian season 3, episode 6. Was it 6?
6.
And a lot of people are hating on this episode and hating on these characters, but like,
dude, they fucking rocked.
Come on, it was fun. How else were we gonna get Jack Black in Star Wars? You know what I mean? Like, it was just so much fun, and that's what Star Wars can allow for. It's a galaxy with so many different planets that we have not visited at all. Plazir 15 was just, there it is, and it was just super fun to visit. And we got an actor that I would have never thought to be in Star Wars. And
dude,
I'd rather look
I
at
remember he is not on my list. He did not make my list, and it's simply because there's just such a vast plethora of characters I love. When I was watching The Mandalorians, because that was one that I happened to be up at 2 a.m. I went ahead and put it on, watched it. The scene with him starts like he's far away from the camera. It's really far panned back. I had the volume turned down so I wouldn't wake up Emily. All I saw was this big ass beard, and I went, "Is that Jack Black?" Mm-hmm. And then like it got up close, and I was like, "It is Jack Black!" And then I was so distracted that I was like, "Wait a fucking minute! Is that Lizzo?"
I think it happened to everybody. I think exactly that, because, I mean, I guess I don't know. It might be a spoiler, but I mean, my 99 is the Duchess, as she is known, or Lizzo, just them together. Because I mean, it made the episode just so fun, and it was just one mind blow after the next. Yeah, it was just like Jack Black. Wait, what the fuck? And you're like, wait a minute, that's not just anyone standing next to him. That's Lizzo. Like, wait, what's going on?
Cut to the next scene. Doc Brown. What the fuck?
Yeah. So I mean, it was going nuts. But I don't know. Instead of like hating on that, it's not Star Wars, or that it
takes you out. Yeah, it'll take you out, but it's fun.
For a little bit. Sure, it does take you out. Yes, it did.
It takes you out for that first. It took me out for the first second where I went, "Is that Jack Black and Lizzo?" Yeah. And then that episode felt like Clone Wars in the best possible way, as far as just a random, outlandish character showing up, fucking with the characters that we love, and that being it. I loved it.
Lizzo just feeding Grogu little snacks the whole time, just holding him. It was just so, like, may I hold the baby, please? May I hold the baby? And he doesn't take kind to strangers, and then boom, jumps right to her. So I don't know. It was super cute. Like, I was taken away at first, but then like I kind of was just okay with it. Like, well,
and the fact that both of them have been Star Wars fans for a super long time, like in their lives, both Lizzo and Jack Black, getting to join the universe, like I love that shit. I mean, like, I don't know. Was anybody like, I know this is not the exact same thing. Jack Black and Lizzo are a bit more famous than Carl Weathers ever was, but I remember watching the first couple episodes of The Mandalorian and being like, "Is that fucking Carl Weathers? Like, is that Apollo Creed?" Like that's the sort of shit that you were getting into with that show, man. Like, it's just Bill Burr. Remember when Bill Burr showed up for the first time, and you're like, "Is that fucking Bill Burr?" Like what?
I do remember Bill Burr, and he will be returning this episode, actually.
Yeah. Beautiful. But I will go ahead and give my 199 since you did the same. Mm-hmm. At 100, I start the list off pretty fun with Black Krrsantan, the Wookiee from the Book of Boba Fett. Last year, he was at 51, so he's dropped down the list pretty substantially. But that's not an indictment of that character in and of himself. It's just the amount of characters I've grown to love over the last year. I love me some Black Krrsantan, and I loved him in the Book of Boba Fett. I specifically love him in the comics. He's in Dr. Aphra comic books, and as like kind of not a right-hand man, but he's always kind of around, and I really enjoy that character. I love the character design. Wookiees are fucking awesome, so I love it. And Black Krrsantan, that dude's a badass. That man was hard as fuck.
Yeah, he was my 52 last time. Sadly not making the list this time, but
There you go.
he was one of the ones that was in the run. Like, I allowed for 5 kind of fun picks at the beginning, just because I think it's fun for Star Wars to remain fun and like to have that childish, it's for the kids and it's for fun anyway. So like I allowed those 5, but if I extended, he like in the overflow, like he was right there, like on the, I don't know, I had a lot of Book of Boba characters that just were very, very close and
Right.
right there, but I'm glad.
No, yeah, and notably, he was 51 for me last year, 52 for you last year. We recorded in February of 2022.
It was fresh.
That's fresh off of Book of Boba Fett. But I wouldn't say I like him anymore or any less than I did a year ago. I still love that dude. He's fucking awesome. There's just so many characters we've been introduced to that I'm like, wait a fucking second. There's so much good stuff going on in Star Wars right now. But at my 99, that is where I head to one of those characters that I've been introduced to in the last year. This is first book character. No on-screen portrayal for this guy. This is Ram Jamaram.
That's a badass name.
He is a Padawan learner in a book called Midnight Horizon. And he's a ray of positivity. Like, he's this character. He's the kid who invented the word wizard.
In
like
Star Wars
using
canon?
using the word wizard that
wizard?
way. Yeah, he invented that. He started calling stuff wizard, and then it caught on. Wizard. Absolutely love that guy. Absolutely love the kid.
Wow.
There are other characters in that book who are like, real stoic and like, what are we gonna do? And then like Ram Jamaram pops up and it's like, well, I know. He's a little bit of a nerd. He's really into tech and all this stuff, and he's a Jedi, and he's real positive. He's a real kid, and they're always like, God damn, I love this kid. Like, this kid's the shit. And that's kind of how they talk about him. I love the guy. He's a cute kid. I had to go with Ram Jamaram.
In what era? Like, how old is he? Like, what era?
This is the High Republic. He is a Padawan in the High Republic. In a book called Midnight Horizon.
That makes wow. Wizard. The wizard, like, what do you call it? Like, the trend starter? I don't know. What do you call
the young trendsetter.
Yeah, wow, that's kind of nuts. Because I was just watching The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones today, and Annie's little friend, that's Wizard, Annie! When he's coming up to his pod or whatever. I don't know, and then you got Din saying it. Later on, I'm pretty sure Din says it. Wizard. Whenever he sees like Pelly in the shop or something like that.
Wizard.
But yeah, wow. The young trendsetter.
Love the kid.
Ram Jamaram. All right.
Yep. So that's my 199. What's your 98?
98. It is another fun one and very short, very brief. But I guess that's kind of what the last 2 were. But this is where Dexter Jettster is for me.
Yes.
In the Clone Wars. And, honestly, dude has kind of a pretty big impact when it comes to the Star Wars story here. If Obi-Wan doesn't get tipped off that this is, Jango Fett's, poison dart, and he doesn't go to Kamino to
that's
inspect.
A Kamino saber dart.
Yeah, like if he doesn't go to Kamino to inspect that, he doesn't find out about the clone army. I mean, I guess, he gets captured and then Count Dooku just tells him flat out everything. But I don't know, Dexter Jettster puts him on the right path, and I don't know, just another fun guy that, you walk in, he's Obi-Wan. Just the dude's voice is just hilarious.
Obi-Wan.
And he's literally like pulling up his pants. He's just so greasy everywhere. He's like pulling up his pants. Like, I don't know. It's just
dude's the shit. No, I love me some Dexter Jettster. He recently was introduced in the High Republic Adventures comic. Him and Maz Kanata have kind of a like a flirty thing, which is cute.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of outstanding.
Wow.
There's also a book called Padawan that is about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it tells the story of how it doesn't tell the story. It's just part of the story that Dex and Obi-Wan meet for the first time. So like it's just cool how Dex is being explored more in the ancillary material recently, which I really, really love. Sadly, Dex did not make my top 100 this time around. He did make it last year at 95.
That's what I thought. I thought that he actually made yours, and I was just watching Attack of the Clones, and then I'm looking, this bottom 5 characters, and I'm like, I need just 5, just fun, just
Dexter
kind of
Jetster, man.
and yeah, I don't know, Dexter was right. It was like perfect timing whenever Obi-Wan just walked in the diner.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, like it was just
dude,
fun guy, fun character.
Love me some Dexter Jetster. You're making me regret some of my decisions a little bit because I love that guy, but there's love to be spread around. There's love everywhere. So that's a good 98. At my 98, I'm going again a little bit more recent in addition within The Mandalorian. And I'm going Jedi Master Kelleran Beck, played by Ahmed Best.
Wow.
All we know about this character and the is that he saved Grogu, and that's enough. That's enough to propel you to top 100 for me. That's fucking awesome. I love Ahmed Best. I love that he created this character to kind of, help kids with their to help teach kids and do this children's show for Star Wars online. Like, it's so fucking cool. Like, it's just a really, really awesome character, and I love Ahmed Best. So I had to give Kelleran Beck some love. And if you save Grogu and be a total badass while doing it, hard to say that you're not gonna be here.
And who knows? I mean, we might even have more of Kelleran Beck in store for us. We've only gotten his introduction, into live action. So who knows? Maybe we get some more flashbacks, and he goes off even more. He delivers Grogu right to Quinlan Voss, and hands him off, and he starts the path. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like there's still a lot more to be answered with Grogu's story there.
I tend to think so as well. I do think we have more in store with him.
But yeah, I got him coming up. But I had him a little higher up actually. I just paired him with someone else.
I see.
And it just kind of happened. Maybe himself, his character, but the pair works really well together.
The pair.
But yeah, okay. Kelleran Beck, that's nice. We'll get to him later, though.
Bit.
But on my 97, I guess he's kind of a couple things, but mainly it is the Clone Wars narrator. I just wanted to give him his flowers here. Tom Kane. He plays a couple different characters throughout.
Admiral Yularen.
But man, that's enough people don't give him credit for that show. Like, it's the opening. He gives you what you need to know right off the bat of the episode. It's just that, and it's such a narrator.
Lost in deep space.
Yeah, that voice, man. Like, it's unforgettable. You hear it, and you're like, that's fucking the Clone Wars narrator. Like that's the dude right there. So maybe not a funny, I guess, character, kind of like Jack Black.
Well, and also we see him in Andor.
No way.
Yularen, he's the dude with the mustache who is an ISB agent now. He's not played by Tom Kane in that show, but it's the same character.
Oh, okay. You had me. I was like, hold on. Did I hear Tom Kane's voice in Andor and not
you
know
would have
it?
recognized that immediately.
I was like, wait a minute. There's no way I'm saying this. And then...
Just the same character, not the same actor.
Okay.
Admiral Yularen.
Yeah. But, man, I don't know. I allowed for the just kind of 5 off the wall. Everyone else is a very established,
That's
character. But, I don't know.
Well, and in contrast, this is my first major character in the movies coming up here at 97. Not because I don't appreciate the contributions they've made to the story. Of course I do. But, hard to enjoy the biggest fascist wizard that the galaxy has ever seen. 97 is where I have Emperor Palpatine.
Like, it is literally flipped. 3 from the bottom. I mean, it's I guess but like I mean, it's not spoiler. I love the character to death, but that's just hilarious that it like is exactly flipped.
Yeah, no, and this one dropped down my list like crazy. I had him at 45 last year, and even last year you went, "What? That's way too low." And then this time around I was like, "You know what? I'm going to tell you how I really feel." Cuz even last year I think I put him up there because I was like, I can't put him that low. Don't get me wrong. Ian McDiarmid is fucking fantastic as Palpatine, and the character itself is so fucking cool, diabolical, maniacal, pretty much everything you'd ever want in a villain, But because of that, I don't like him very much. I don't like the guy, and that's and when it comes to favorites, I do kind of base it off of like my preference towards just the way they present themselves, like I've never thought there are certain villains that rise up the list because I think they're cool. I don't think Palpatine's cool, like Palpatine's
not that cool of a guy.
There's very few redeeming things about Palpatine where I can even be like, oh yeah, this dude's dope. No, yeah, that dude fucking sucks. He's good at fucking sucking, Yeah,
I see. No, I see, and it's fair. I think where you like, I totally agree. If there's a character that has good morals and they are also just a good character in the show, that elevates them way higher than if their morals suck and if their performance is really good. I would rather the character be good.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also recognize we're in a fictitious world.
No,
and I know in my mind I'm not fascist.
And exactly.
I hate it completely with every fiber in my being. And he is very high on my list, but very low on the morality. Like,
I'm not, and I don't want to make it seem like if you have him high on your list, that I mean that you might also be a fascist wizard. No. But
it is a fair point that he is a fascist wizard. Like that is a fair, like some people don't really, I don't know. There are some people that don't really see that.
No.
Sometimes. So
yeah, no, and that's the thing is that like, and that's why I will never, I completely anticipate to be kind of like, what? Huh? Are you kidding? When I give this as a ranking, because like, yeah, it is kind of absurd. He's been in the franchise since 1983. He's been in every single trilogy.
They brought him back for the sequels.
Giant fucking character. Loved the character. I love the way they use the character in every single movie. I just don't love the character himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the way he's written. I like the way he's performed. I like a lot of things about him. But the guy himself, I'm good. I'm good off him. Especially since I just like shining the light on the brighter things.
Hey, yeah, fair enough. I mean, that I'm kind of I've been getting into a little more just yin yang. So even all the good, it's got to be balanced by some. If someone you gotta have a little natty. If someone is that good, there has somewhere out there. There is someone else that is that bad.
Great dark, great light.
And so I see, and I don't know.
Darkness rises.
A lot of my list
to meet it
is like like there's a dark path, and then it'll get like okay, they're getting a little better, and then it's like really good people. I don't know. I'll have a lot of stretches where it's like bad, good, light, and then I don't know, but
and I know this is kind of cheating. I just went ahead and put Snoke here too, like it's Palpatine / Snoke. Yeah, like a little bit.
I did separate them. Actually,
and that's the thing is that like more so than anything, I forgot to put Snoke on my list originally, and then I didn't want to eliminate anyone for it, so I was like, I'll just throw them side by side. I do, and you know what? We can talk more about that whenever you get to Snoke, simply because I have a pretty new, fresh take on Snoke after watching the sequel trilogy again. So I'll save it, but. Yeah, I just kind of lumped him in here with Palpatine. It's not exactly fair, but
yeah, I just couldn't put Snoke at 3. I get like if I was treating him as a different character, there's no way I could put him up,
that makes sense.
High. And then I'm like, Well, he actually, I don't know. I do kind of treat him as a different character because Pout kind of played him as a different character on
That makes
the
sense.
whole
I like
Pout
that. I like that.
But yeah. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I guess since I have him low, I'm comfortable lumping him in at the same spot. But if I did have him at 3, I'd be like, well, I need to make a change here. I can't, and that's fair. You know, you wouldn't consider Jango Fett and Boba Fett the same character. So like, absolutely fair.
Well, is it 96 now?
I believe you're at your 96. Yes.
And this, my last two kind of just the fun people, but this is more of a serious fun, likable characters. Where I have Hondo Ohnaka.
Hondo.
Yeah, you know, we don't agree with everything that Hondo does all the time. Not necessarily, but man,
the shit though.
We want to see him on screen though. You know, like give me more Hondo. I want to see live action Hondo so bad.
I think we're about there. I think it's almost time.
I don't know. I just need some more Hondo.
I've kept hoping though. You know, I've kept going like, maybe the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe this, maybe that.
Let's see. Where would he be in Mando time? He'd be
a pretty old guy, but
maybe he's a changed man at that point. You know,
well, he's already like that's why I think Ahsoka is not that far fetched because you remember in Rebels how he was down with Ezra, he came to ride for Ezra in that last little arc.
True. Yeah.
I could absolutely see him popping up in Rebels or not Rebels, Ahsoka, and I would love it. But you know, I'm not out here anticipating it. I would just really enjoy it.
No, but yeah, that's why he's kind of down here at 96. You know, he's an enjoyable guy that you love to see on screen. And if I get any more Hondo, I'm cool. You know, I love to see more Hondo. But if not, I've loved everything we've gotten so far.
I do believe I had Hondo on my list last year. Yeah, I had him at 64 last year.
Ooh, yeah,
and unfortunately, not on my list this year, even though he is just one of those characters that's absolutely fucking lovable. Like every time he shows up in the Clone Wars, I'm a sucker for it. You know, we're about to start the Ahsoka cast or the Ahsoka cast, I should say, here within the next few weeks. And that youngling arc, the way he comes into the fold and they have to ally with him and his pirate crew to fight Maul and Savage and stuff like that's so fucking cool. I love that. So like, I love me some Hondo Ohnaka. He's the shit. Yeah, but at my 96, I did go pretty fun with it. I did indeed. This is where I have Peli Motto.
Okay. Yeah, I got her coming up in a little bit. That's funny.
Yeah,
but
love me some Peli Motto, man. Yeah. She's the shit. Love me some Amy Sedaris. She plays that character fantastically. And I mean, if you've watched The Mandalorian and you don't like Peli, I don't know, man. The Star Wars ship might just not be for you. You know, I think she fits perfectly into the universe. I think she makes a lot of sense on Tatooine. Like, it's just, I don't know, just everything about her makes sense. And that's just not sometimes there are things like that don't make sense. And she's just not one of them. You know, she's like, yeah, like that's exactly what that person would be like.
She fits in so well. I want just Peli shorts, Peli shorts or some, I don't know, just checking in with Peli every now and then. You know, she got something going on with the Jawas. I don't know what exactly, but
she's fucking the Jawa
pretty well. I think she's fucking the Jawas. At least, you know.
She did date a Jawa once.
Mm-hmm. That's true. She speaks it. And okay. Y'all were, I don't know. Maybe I'm too quick to jump the gun on the R5 whole thing here, but I don't know. Something's going on with R5, and Peli is probably in on it. I don't know, or maybe she's completely oblivious, and R5 is just on his own, or with, I don't know, someone in this. I don't know who R5 answers to. You know, I guess, or is he answering to anybody, or is he just going around? You know, he was just. Oh, well, luckily I had one of...
R5. That accounts for one of the droids I wouldn't have thought of on your list.
Yes.
There we go.
Of course he has to be on there.
No, yeah, like, I'm curious, because I know you have the 6 droids I have. But I'm trying to account for what some of the other 4 are. And that's the first. So I'm like, all right.
Basically every big droid... every big droid. I have. If it's in a movie, probably I probably got.
I have all the essentials. Yeah, like that's the thing, is that like I have the 6 absolute most essential droids for my money. So I'm like trying to figure out what the other 4 are. And R5, IG-11, I'm assuming. We'll see. We'll get there.
Yeah. But Peli, okay. Yeah, Peli.
Yeah, Peli
Sorry,
was at
Peli.
my 96.
Yeah.
Love me some Peli. I remember her introduction in season 1 and just being like, holy shit. That's because at the time I knew Amy Sedaris by her voice. She'd popped up in a lot of stuff, but most recently at the time when season 1 came out, I'd recently watched BoJack Horseman, and she plays Princess Carolyn, the pink cat in that.
Yeah, that's right.
She's
right.
that voice immediately. She started talking, and I was like, "That is Princess Carolyn." You know, like it was right there immediately. I fucking love her. I love the frayed hair. I love that she's missing a tooth now because of the Book of Boba Fett. Just she's the perfect crazy, and I hope that we get like I want her in the Mayor's Major Domo shorts.
Yeah, they're a thing.
Yeah, they have to
be. They're a thing now too. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Peli, I think she's poly.
She gets around.
She fucks around. She has a good time. You know, she's not ashamed of it. She's got Dr. Mandible in the corner over there. The ant guy.
What if like there's eventually like a Tatooine, maybe Mos Eisley kind of like small council where Boba assembles kind of like the master of Peli would be like the master of like I don't know what her position would be, but just like she knows where to get anything in the town.
Yeah.
If you need anything that's mechanical or any part or whatever, you just go to Peli.
She would be the master of coin simply because she could save Mos Eisley so much money because she would just trade things without spending any money.
Oh, it's the crime loop. Duh. Every mob, they got their trucking business or the club, whatever. But like this is their scam. It's they steal the parts and they give them to the Jawas take them, but they buy them right back from them and paint them and say it's a repair and blah blah.
There
boom.
You
go. Who knows? Peli could be becoming a pretty major character here in Star Wars, actually. But no, I don't know. Shorts would be hilarious. Like I don't think we'll ever get it.
No, I don't either. But I love the idea. She's the character. If there's any character live action in Star Wars right now who it's like, oh yeah, they deserve shorts, it's Peli Motto. Like I can't think of anyone who it's like a character more tailor made for that form of like comedy, like little sketches basically. Like I think it'd be a great idea. But I love me some Peli Motto, so I had to get her in here, and one spot above Emperor Palpatine, Peli Motto. So
that's amazing! Wow. Well, sticking with kind of the darker vein here, my 95 is Asajj Ventress.
Ooh.
And I think she was actually pretty high up on. Yeah, she was 33 on my list last time. I don't know if I was coming off like a Clone Wars rewatch or something, or I don't know necessarily, but.
No, but you got her being Dooku's apprentice and stuff.
True.
She's an appealing character.
I remember talking about the connection to Dooku and how that's just everything. But like, I don't know. She is just a very badass character, and the voice as well. Like the whole time, like everything about her whole kit, just her character design, her origin, bolt sabers, her fighting style, trained by Dooku. Like I don't know,
super dope.
Have a lot going for her. Yeah,
I just started the Clone Wars rewatch last night, and that first episode where she's, like it's cool because the evolution that character sees over the course of the Clone Wars is really awesome because she's a cocky dark side user who isn't as good as she thinks she is, especially in the eyes of Yoda in the first episode, who's like, "Hey man, you're good and all that, but like, calm the fuck down, okay? Like, I got your ass."
You're talking to, yeah.
Yeah. And I love me some Asajj. She was on my list last year at 56, but she dropped off the list this year, shamefully enough, because Asajj Ventress is super cool. Just a super cool character. But I tell you what, I need to read Dark Disciple And the book Dooku Jedi Lost is really cool because it's her going through a bunch of Dooku's old like hollow notes, and that's how the stories are told of Dooku's past, is because she's learning about
That
Dooku's
is pretty
past.
cool.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
really
cool.
dope. It's a really cool book. But
Mhm.
love Asajj Ventress. That's a good choice. It's a good choice. But
95.
95, sticking with the book talk, heading back to the High Republic here with a character named Affie Hollow. She is the captain of what might be my second favorite ship crew in all of Star Wars,
Whoa.
behind the Ghost crew.
I was
The
gonna
Ghost.
say. I mean,
It's got to be the Ghost. Ghost is top one. But the crew of the Vessel, it's called the Vessel.
Mm-hmm.
She is the captain of this crew. That entire crew is on my list. Affie just happens to be at the bottom of it. She is super cool. She's a young chick who's like she's the adoptive daughter of the leader of the Bine Guild. The Bine Guild is a shipping company, basically. They carry goods across the galaxy. They have a fleet of ships, and they operate transportation. Essentially, the owner of this guild is Scover Bine. This is Affie's adoptive mother. Affie eventually discovers that Scover is doing some not so friendly shit. She's hired indentured servants who risk their lives for a chance to knock years off their indentured servitude sentence. And she reports her. She ends up having to turn her mother in for this. And that's kind of the struggle this character faces. And it's really cool. You know, she's in the book Into the Dark and Fallen Star in the High Republic. And just a super strong-willed character, super cool. I love her relationship to Leox Gyasi because he's like so protective of her. It's not like far from romantic. And I'll get to that later when I get to Leox Gyasi. But like they just have such a strong friendship, and whenever there's like they just look out for each other so hard. You know, there's a tweet the other day that was like we all love the trope of touch her and I'll kill you, but what's your favorite touch me and she'll kill you? And I kind of feel that way about Leox Gyasi and Affie Hollow. It's a fun relationship, and so I got Affie Hollow at 95.
Man, that's not a fun origin story there, or maybe not origin, but just story.
Yeah, it's semi-origin, you know,
but,
enough.
Man,
well, and the real tragedy of her origin story is that her birth parents, were the indentured servants who had to risk their lives to get years knocked off their sentence, and they died.
Oh, okay, yeah, that just made that.
That's the real tragedy. Yeah. So Affie Hollow, she's resilient of spirit, you know.
Yeah. Wow. That's
sorry for those of you who have interest in reading Into the Dark. I did just give you one of the plot lines. However, it is a far grander book than that. That's just part of it. So Affie Hollow's the shit. Strongly recommend Into the Dark and all of the High Republic. And I will be back around to the High Republic with my next pick. But in the meantime, you go on ahead.
With this one, we're going to Obi-Wan realm. And this is Tala and her last name, Durith.
Durith, yeah.
Durith, yeah. And just another... I have a couple people here just kind of like badass women that just... I don't know. Like, I remember... Yeah, like, this is a character... Like, sadly, she came and went in the same show, you know?
Yeah.
But it's kind of... Whenever you have characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Leia and people who we know are not going to die, you know, we kind of initially guess, like, well, it's probably likely that she's going to go.
Yeah.
And she did. But that's, you know...
Meaningfully as hell, too. Like, it still hurt. Like, even though we knew it was coming, it was like, oh, God.
Yeah, while we had it, like, is inspiration to Leia, you know, like, gave the holster, right? Like, Leia has that. I think, or was it hers? Or maybe, like, I don't know, something like that. I don't know. It was just like, but I remember Leia like just was looking at her. It was just so inspired just by the sight of a
Yeah, the
woman
very
like with a
presence.
gun, on her hip, sort of thing. And I don't know. I just was just really cool in Obi-Wan. Now that it's out now, can be on this list. I think she definitely deserved a spot.
I think so too. That's a good choice. I was very close. She was one that I ended up having to just kind of bump, just slightly bump off the list because of some others that I really wanted on here, and it's a shame. But yeah, man, the whole Imperial spy turned rebel, leading, like helping the path. Like, what a fucking cool arc, man. She's the shit, and basically everything that had to do with that realm is super cool. Like Roken and all those characters with the path, super dope. Love me some Tala. We'll get some crossover with her in Game of Thrones here in a few weeks.
We will indeed.
We will indeed.
That'll be fun. Oh man, we're getting there. That's crazy.
We are. We're close. We're halfway through season 3. We're close. Close to season 4 when they finally get folded in. But yeah. Any Hoozle, it's a great choice for your 94. And my 94, I return to the High Republic, specifically a book called Out of the Shadows. This is Jordana Sparkburn, and even more so than the last pairing I gave you, Affie Hollow and Leox Gyasi. This one is even more so the touch me and she'll kill you. Jordana Sparkburn is about that action. She's a super badass. She's a marshal, not a marshal, but like she operates as something of a marshal for a planet that keeps getting hit by the villainous force in the High Republic, the Nihil. And she's in love with a girl named Sylvestri Yarrow, which is really cool. Or she was, at least. And their relationship is that sort of like, oh, you fuck with her, you fuck with me. You know? Fuck with me, you know I got it. And that one is romantic. Jordana Sparkburn, super badass character, super cool chick. Had to have her on here. I don't have much more to say. Only one book, and she's, I mean, not one-dimensional, but she's got a very, very steadfast story about Sylvestri, their partnership.
Her title might have been the San Tekka Deputy.
The San Tekka Deputy, that is correct. She worked for the San Tekka clan, which ties into the sequel trilogy a bit, which is what's cool about the High Republic, is that the San Tekkas, you'll remember at the beginning of The Force Awakens, Poe Dameron sits down with a guy who's like, to me, she is royalty. That's Lor San Tekka, a descendant of the San Tekkas.
Like the guy who had the map? The little last piece of the map to Luke? That dude?
Yeah.
Wow.
And part of the lore there, no pun intended, about Lor San Tekka, is that him and Luke used to roll with each other a little bit, studying and finding Force artifacts and stuff. But previously in his family, the San Tekkas were crucial in mapping hyperspace lanes and finding hyperspace lanes, which is how their family got rich, which is how he was able to afford just looking for Force artifacts all the time.
That's cool. Man. Yeah. That's a cool connection there.
And Jordana Sparkburn, distant cousin of the San Tekkas.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a saying in that book that's like, not every San Tekka is a Sparkburn, but every Sparkburn's a San Tekka. Like there's something there. I can't remember exactly what it was, but loved that. Love me some Jordana Sparkburn. So I had her at 94.
We got some powerful women kind of up in here right now. Asajj, I had Tala, and then now I'm going. My 93 is Nala Se. And I think I did have her actually last time. I believe I did. Yeah, at 95. Okay, she made 2 up. She bumped up 2.
Hey!
Well, there you go. But I don't know. I think maybe there's even some more going on with Nala Se that we quite don't know yet. Like what's the reason that she protected Omega so much, or was, is there a reason there? It could be nothing, or maybe she's about to drop some dirty secret to Dr. Hemlock or something. I don't know. But I fear for her future.
I do as well.
Coming up here, I'm very afraid for her future, but nonetheless, she's just a very interesting character, and I hope, I don't know, we dig deep into that side of the story and we get some more answers, but that'll have to remain until the final season of Bad Batch. Yeah.
Kind of money on that prediction, though, huh?
I mean, come on. Yeah, that's pretty sick, though. That it is.
I've been seeing tweets today that are like, their story's not even close to done. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I don't know how much longer you could stretch this thing they've got going on out. But anywho, no beef with anybody. Like, I want the show to keep going as well because I love these characters. But if it's at the cost of the story they're telling, I absolutely don't want that. Like, they've told the story they want to tell. They're done with it. Hell yeah. Thank you for wrapping it up and not just continuing it for the sake of continuing it.
We'll have to wait a little bit still to get those answers, but I am okay. I am satisfied with that show. That season was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, I'm all
gorgeous.
All in. And
that season's coming in 2024. Like that's a year away. It's not one we're going to have to wait on. It'll come around the corner. Saw a tweet today from someone who like works on the show who said something about how they were looking at reels for a middle of season 3 episode. Like their active development on that show, haven't stopped working on it. So get that before we know it. Love me some Nala Se. She unfortunately did not make my list today. But who knows, maybe next year.
Yeah. Never know.
Never know. At 93, we once again get one of those kind of, that's awfully low. Awfully low characters. This is where I have the one who everyone is so excited to see returning, this time in live action. Grand Admiral Thrawn is here at 93. And this is one where I liked him a lot in Rebels. I've read the Heir to the Empire trilogy, and he was dope in that. And I'm excited for his return in Ahsoka. What I need to do is read those new canon novels within the last several years. I think there's 6 books now that are about Thrawn. 9, including Legends. So a lot of catching up to do with Thrawn, and I'm sure after that I'll like him even more. Super dope character. So excited that Lars Mikkelsen is returning to play him in live action as he voiced him in the show Rebels. Curious to see what that motherfucker's been up to, man.
Just from Rebels alone, I haven't even read those Thrawn books yet. But Thrawn, I like Palpatine. He's calculated and stuff, but he is just really evil at the end of the day. You know, like it is really hard to get behind anything Palpatine does. I'm not saying Thrawn does anything great. His actions are usually always bad. But he has this sick, twisted, like he has to understand his enemy fully first. And he studies their art, and like he's so maniacal about it. And so like I feel like more evil than Palpatine sometimes. Like I don't know. I pray, or like we saw what happened when Palpatine, had the just Sith powers at his disposal and what he did. But like, imagine if that was Thrawn instead of Palpatine. I don't think like. I think it goes worse.
Right.
How much worse than what we got. So I don't know, but Thrawn, I like him a whole lot. So I guess
he's a cool villain, man. This is one where it's just I don't know. There's something about him that just hasn't quite clicked with me. Like it's and not to say that I actively don't like him. There are a lot of great characters I love who didn't make this top 100. So like I do enjoy the character. It's just that like to a certain extent, there's something that like he's a fan favorite. People love this guy. and I'm just okay with him. Like, I'm cool with him. He's dope. I think he's a cool villain. But I think the best is yet to come with that character. I think Ahsoka and everything is going to be like, oh, this guy is fucking terrible and I love it. You know, like that sort of vibe.
That's true. Yeah, I guess we haven't gotten everything. Maybe I am jumping the gun a little too early because of the hype and the trailer and stuff, and that he's coming. But
what do I sacrifice?
I guess we'll get to him a little later. But at least he's above Palpatine, though. I like that. I like that he's above Palpatine, though.
He is indeed, and it is because of that little bit of respectability you threw out there. Like what I said about Palpatine earlier is that I like the way he's written, I like the way he's used in stories, I like the way he's performed, but there's nothing redeeming about the guy. There's that little bit about Thrawn that's a little bit more redeeming, you know. So like I had to put him a little bit above him based on that logic alone, you know.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm sticking with. I didn't realize I kind of went on a woman run here, but from Massage to here, this is where it will end. But at 92, I'm going with Yaddle.
Nice.
And Tales of the Jedi really just, I don't know. Was Tales of the Jedi out when we did this last time?
No, it was not.
So that would have been that would have been one that we saw. But I don't know. It was just she was always just been in the background. But then Tales of the Jedi, we hear her speak, and I remember like watching that and being like, oh my fucking god! Wait a minute, she's speaking plain English, and Yoda is just, I don't know, doing that because he's old or whatever. Who they don't all speak like that. That's just a Yoda thing, and like it hit me all at once, and it was just awesome. And then I got to sit back and then just watch Yaddle. I don't know, for a little bit, like her actually do things.
It was super cool to see that character gain some sort of agency and presence in the story. And speaking of Tales of the Jedi, that character voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard, who directed the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo in The Mandalorian.
Whoa. Okay.
Along with many other a few other episodes of The Mandalorian, including the best Mandalorian episode there is in the Book of Boba Fett.
Damn.
Return of the Mandalorian was also directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. So she's a very talented woman. And Yaddle's the shit. So real quick for me, rattle off the ones you've said so far.
I got Jack Black, Captain Bombardier, the Duchess, Dexter Jetster, the narrator, or Tom Kane.
Tom Kane.
Hondo Ohnaka, Asajj Ventress, Tala Durith, Nala Se, and Yaddle.
Damn, Yaddle is the first one you've said that I also have on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I wanted to make sure that was right. I thought that was the case. Yaddle will be this episode. It'll just be a little later. Love me some Yaddle. And great character. And greatly increased in enjoyment over the last year. But because she was not on my list a year ago. So love me some Yaddle. I don't think
she was on mine either.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
92.
At 92, since we were talking about the Bad Batch a few seconds ago, I'm going to have to take it there for the very first time in this top 100. This is sadly where I have Wrecker.
Wrecker?
Yeah, Wrecker. Hey, man, I love Wrecker. He's a lovable guy.
Is he the first of are all the Batch members in here?
All of them are here. All of them are here.
In Wrecker's okay. Actually fair.
I will say,
I think about it.
there's a gap. Let's see,
it is just,
there's a gap of about more than 30 between him and the next Batch member. So like
yeah, mine are kind of split. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Wrecker. I like him a lot. But as the show's gone on, that's what he is. He's just the lovable big guy. They haven't really increased the dimensions of that character a lot, which is okay. I just think that we've expanded on Tech, Hunter, Crosshair, and Echo a hell of a lot more than we ever expanded on Wrecker. Mostly because I don't think there's much you can do to expand on Wrecker. I think that his character's the way he is. And that's how it's going to be. And it's not a bad thing. Love the dude. He's a wonderful character. And I think that D. Bradley Baker obviously has the time of his life voicing Wrecker any chance he gets. Aha! Yeah!
Yeah, I don't know why I was so shocked as to Wrecker being the first of the batch that you mentioned, because he's at the bottom of my batch as well.
Yeah.
Like, of the batch, he is at the bottom. It's just
That's funny.
I had them up a little higher. Like, I have I guess the gap is he probably does fall down quite a few ways, but like I have a few of them just grouped together, the batch. And where he just fits in with the other ones, I kind of feel all the same about them. But man, I just didn't expect it to be this low, because I don't know. The season 2 has really changed the batch for me.
Dude,
like I'm loving the batch. Like,
I'm gonna tell you right now. You know, we did the Star Wars ranking a few weeks back, and I think that's already changed since we did that. The Bad Batch is top 3 Star Wars TV shows for me, period. Not just animation, top 3 Star Wars shows at all. Andor, Rebels, Bad Batch. That's my top 3. Love those shows to death.
I think I can comfortably say I'm right. Andor is definitely number 1. Bad Batch could, I'd say like,
if season 3 does it,
it could it could overpass Rebels, but it's gonna.
I don't know though. I'm about to rewatch Rebels,
and that's gonna be tough. I
don't know. Rebels is so fucking good. But the Bad Batch is an easy 3 right now. I have it personally on a level over The Mandalorian. I have it over the Book of Boba Fett. I have it over Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have it over the Clone Wars. I have it like every other Star Wars TV show. Those are my top 3. And Wrecker, love Wrecker. He's a sweetheart. He's the big softy, and I'll always love him. But he's just there are more fun characters who have a lot more to them who I had to incorporate a little bit.
That's
higher.
true, and that is fair. Well, I don't know. We'll get to the batch later. I got him quite a little higher, but that's all right. I got not this other one. I think I had him way too high last time. Well, I guess not too high, but I had him at 46 last time on my last list. This is Plo Koon. Here, and I don't know, it's just kind of, in the movies, doesn't really do a whole lot at all, but you get a little bit in Clone Wars. You get to see him do a little bit more stuff. But I think it's just more of the character design of Plo Koon. I remember the arc in Clone Wars, whenever there were some clones that were out in space and they were all about to die, and then he's like, "No, you're not disposable to me. Like, yeah. I don't see you that way." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, that was like
just watched that episode 2 hours ago.
Oh,
it's the second episode of the show. So I just started my rewatch, and it's that the plot's basically, and upon watching it, we might have to revisit it for the Ahsokast, because it's I think it's crucially important for Ahsoka's arc as well, because it explains that Plo Koon's the one who picked her up and brought her to the temple at all. It's, they're stranded out in space after this mysterious weapon has taken out their ship, and the clones are like, well, no one's going to come save us. That'd be dumb of them. Like, tactically, the smart decision is to find the weapon, not come and save us. Yeah. And who is it that comes and save them? Ahsoka and Anakin, because Ahsoka was like, we have to go save them, and but when they're stranded out in space, he's like, I hate to say I told you so, Commander, but no one's coming to get us. We're clones. We're meant to be disposable. And Plo Koon goes, not to me. Fucking love it. Fucking love it.
Just on the council for a reason, that dude, he's about it. And I don't know, I remember whenever they were filming season 2 of Mandalorian, they told everyone that Luke was Plo Koon. Or maybe not everyone, but at least Dave Filoni told Bo-Katan, or Katie Sackhoff, that it was. Yeah,
he was listed as showing up as, like, on the call sheet as Plo Koon. Like,
but not the reason I'm choosing him for 91. It just on his own right.
No, just another little tidbit there. Yeah, he was 67 for me last year, does not make the top 100 this year, but do love that character. I really do. There's a lot of characters who I'll say, they were on it last year and they didn't make it this year, because I think I said there was something like 33 characters who were on it who aren't anymore. I think I have about 30 High Republic characters that have come in. So it's like they just sub in, sub out.
Yeah. You gotta go somewhere.
But no, that's a good choice. And to stick with the Force user sort of vibe, I do believe this will be my first Force user besides, I don't know, I had Kelleran back. I was going to say Palpatine, but this is where I have my first Visions character and my only Visions character. This is where I have the Ronin.
Okay.
This is a bit of a drop compared to where he was a year ago. Not by much, if I remember correctly. But no, it's I'm looking now. It looks pretty substantial.
I'm gonna say I had him at 25 in my list.
I had him at 30, so he's dropped 61 spots. But nevertheless, like, it's a wonderful character, super cool art style in the comic books and in that and in the anime. So excited for season 2 of Visions. I can't fucking wait. But
man. Here. It's on display under my TV because I love the cover of it so much. Like, I have a few comics that are just over there, just in my books and everything that's over there, but I choose to leave this one out on purpose.
Oh, dude, it's a good looking one. It's a good looking one, and absolutely love that character. Love the book about him. Super cool, complicated backstory. Just interesting character. Strongly recommend that book as well. Because that's what propels him onto this at all for me. Is if it was just the Vision short, I wouldn't have him. But the book is fantastic.
That's the thing. I only got the Vision short and that singular comic, and that's all that I got. And he's on my list, and he's actually in a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll get to him then. But I'm definitely sticking with Force users here. Pretty in tune with the Force. This person is. And it is Bendu. I think I had Bendu on my list last time.
The Bendu. I know I did.
I had him at 94 last time. So he actually jumped. He jumped 4 spots. But the reason why I even remembered and put him on here is I recently saw it was either on Twitter or TikTok or something. It was just of Kanan, a Kanan kind of storyline where it just went through a bunch of stuff that happened to Kanan. And when he went blind and then was trained by Bendu, I don't know, just had a few Bendu clips in there during this Kanan kind of, I don't know. It was kind of just like a recap of Kanan's story, honestly. It was what it was. Yeah. But then there was just a nice little Bendu section. And I don't know, just Bendu.
Bendu is the middle.
Yeah, very, very interesting character, and just really, he said that he's the middle and that he would not intervene.
And then he did.
He intervened quite a lot, but I don't know. He taught Kanan how to, really not be blind, kind of. That's like how to just
be in tune with the Force.
I guess, he's like, you're blind, okay, and. I don't know. He was kind of like, hey, all right, let's move on. You're a Force user. Get with it. You're better than this. I don't know. It was just really awesome. So, just a cool character that is in Star Wars. only in a couple Rebels episodes. Who knows if we get a live action Bendu?
Oh, dude, a live action Bendu would be fucking nuts.
Whoa, I didn't even think about maybe. Is it a Bendu? Is Bendu one, or is there the Bendu, or
I think Bendu is just. I think he just did. They just are. There's Is it one being, or is it is it just one being, or I'm assuming Bendu is his name.
Yeah.
But I got to imagine there's more than one of that species around. You know what I'm saying? It's a big galaxy.
Bendu was a male Force-sensitive entity who resided on the remote planet of... It doesn't give a species or anything, just...
Maybe he just is
entity.
Bendu, and that's it.
Yeah, it calls him an entity. So... Who knows?
I fucking love Bendu, though. He was on my list last year at 74, but is not on my list this year. Love Bendu, though. That's a fantastic choice.
That was 90. Oh wow. Well, I guess we already hit the top 10 because it includes 100 or bottom 10. But
right. Yeah. Now my 90 to round out the 90s is my first foray into Rogue One.
Ooh.
Director Krennic. Love me some Orson Krennic. Love me some Ben Mendelsohn as that character. Fantastic performance of him. This is a character that's been greatly enhanced by novels as well, like Catalyst and the Rogue One novelization itself. Just an insanely cool idea for an Imperial, like, because he is a piece of shit. Like, he's just it's because, like, there are so many entities, you know, like Thrawn's this genius who is so calculated and everything. Tarkin's this just maniacally, like, he wants to see the world fucking burn. Emperor Palpatine's this fascist wizard. Krennic is just a really motivated dude who's motivated to do the bad things, basically to advance his career in the best way possible. And the best way to possibly advance his career is to be a weapons developer, is just his thing. And he's an absolute piece of shit. Just a fascinating character. The Man in White, as Jyn regarded him for most of her life.
Popped up in Bad Batch for a little bit.
He
little
did.
Cameo. Little Project Stardust.
Give us an update on Project Stardust.
So he's making his rounds.
He was also in Rebels.
He
for
was.
like an episode. Similar sort of thing as the Bad Batch popped up for a second to discuss Project Stardust and so on and so forth.
I guess mainly, I don't know, would just be a lot of, hey, keep me up to date on that big laser that you're working on. You really want to know about that. Like, that'd be really nice.
That one seems like it'd be really, really nice to have on our side.
Good.
So,
yeah, keep us updated. Every time you just had to be like, yep, they're still working, like, still building the thing.
Still coming along.
Because, couldn't really update much until... I don't know, but okay. No, he wasn't on my list, but that's, I don't know. Interesting that an evil kind of imp makes it, you know, and it's not coming from me, actually.
Right. Yeah, no, like I have him above Thrawn and Palpatine, which is weird. It's just how I feel, I guess.
Just going the other direction, honestly. Like, I don't know. It's like how I would, because I don't know. We'll get to those guys eventually, but yeah. I guess breaking the 80s. I got an imp here as well. They kind of just suck, but they're kind of good. I guess they're okay at out of the people who do suck. They don't suck as much. But surprise, this is an Andor character. One that I don't know. I don't think a lot of people care for really, but this is where I have Deidre.
Okay.
And out of the Andor people who I thought would make my list, I didn't think Deidre would make it at first. I thought even like Bootlicker and Narc would make it before them. But I remember really just liking her arc of the one who was always pushed out to the side, and like she's a woman, you know, in a room full of men, and like every time, you know, she would try to talk, it was nothing, you know, nothing really mattered, but then she kind of took it on herself, and
She pulled up the bootstraps and got to work.
She got to work, and I guess, I don't know, it was just for an Imperial storyline that I'm already not going to really care about. It got me to actually sort of be a little interested, to be like, you know, I guess there is sort of some character development that I could see here that is sort of interesting. You know, it is Imperial and whatever, it's ISB work, and like I'm rooting against you solely. But, you know, it could have just been a bootlicker or a Narc the whole time.
Yeah,
instead.
100%. No, and so, Deidre fantastically performed, fantastically written. Just a a wonderful Imperial character. Like she unfortunately did not make my list either, but I really wanted to. I did my best to try and include, if it helps, Deidre doesn't appear on my list, and therein neither will Nark and Bootlicker. Cyril Karn, definitely not a top 100 character for me.
Yeah, they're not.
And I think it's like Lieutenant Linus or something is the actual name for the guy that's Bootlicker.
I don't even
Happy
know
fucking Halloween.
Yeah, he's forever Bootlicker to me.
He dropped the first shit in Star Wars, so respect
That's actually
for that.
kind of crazy. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. A surprising pick even to me. But as I was going through Andor characters, like, because that was just a big addition, was people from Andor, like, you got it. I don't know, there was some
you got to acknowledge it. Deidre was cool.
And
very very cool Imperial. But anywho, at my 89, he has spoken. This is where I have Queel.
Yeah, I got him coming later on. I forgot. Usually I bold the ones that you say. That you've already
that makes
said.
sense. That's a good call.
And yeah, now I'm doing that. But I got Palpatine, I guess, and Thrawn would be the other big ones. But okay, Queel. That's
Queel. Love the guy. He's a G. I think that gone too soon. The sacrifice play.
Man.
What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Man, I remember I'm like, no, yeah, he's gonna make it. The Razor, he's getting there. He's fully getting there. He's making it. Grogu. He just
nope.
The little grave too that's out there, which is like the stack of rock. It's like
Well, and I wonder in the expansion of Navarro, is that still there?
Oh no.
You know what happened? What happened to my boy's grave?
Build over that, or do they build a memorial?
We revisit his grave? Because I think it's like in the middle of the lava flats. I don't think it's like anywhere near the town.
Oh wait, is his his little? Did he have like a cave, or what was his like home? Was it more?
It was a different planet.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah. Okay, that's right. So he wasn't okay, but his grave is on. Yeah. I hope they really just didn't build over that, and it's just like nothing now.
So
yeah,
too.
I didn't even. Wow, I didn't think about that. Shit.
Yeah, no, I think
we got an IG-11 memorial.
Where's the Queel memorial, guys?
The fuck? Like, I understand IG-11 blew himself up, but Queel he did the same. I mean, he didn't blow up and kill a lot of people, but he was still doing everything he could to save Grogu. Man.
I guess the IG-11 sacrifice saved Greef Karga directly. And, he's High Magistrate Karga now.
And they saw that happen. It was like in front of them too. Like they knew it was happening. Like Queel was like just over comms and he didn't respond.
Right.
And he was found dead later. So I guess, but man, we need a memorial for him though. Still something. But man, no, I guess he's a little later on my list though. I like Queel.
Queel. Yeah, no, love me some Queel. He's a good dude, and taught Din some diplomacy apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
there's a special way to communicate with these people.
Yeah, let me show her how you can make a living with your hands. Like this fucking guy, Nick Nolte, being in there, fucking the Hulk's dad from 2003's Hulk is Queel.
Really?
Yeah, the voice of Queel is Nick Nolte, same guy.
Wow, that's too. That's nuts. Like the God complex.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Who turns
Wow.
into, like, the absorbing guy. Yeah, Nick Nolte, same guy.
Holy shit! I hear it now.
Oh yeah,
I hear it, but I did not make that connection whatsoever before.
He has spoken.
Wow, I'm even more glad that he's higher up on my list now. That makes it so much better.
Makes it better, man. Yeah, no, dude's fantastic. Love me some Queel.
But my 88 kind of pairs with my 89. I had Deidre there. This is where I have Partagaz. The last, I think, of the imps, I think, of Andor that make it, I believe. But Partagaz he's not really, I don't know, he doesn't really fit there, it doesn't seem. I think maybe he's not really an imp at heart, but he just knows the world he lives in, and he accepts that that's how he's successful or something. That's my headcanon of it. But he just doesn't...
he strikes me as a guy who's just he's just doing his job. You know, it's fascist work.
Yeah. So there is something. I still can't.
No, he can't be a good guy.
Yeah,
but...
but like I don't know. He doesn't seem like he belongs there. Really, I don't know. He just didn't really seem like he belongs. But man, did he have some drippy ass outfits though? Out of nowhere, did Partagaz just a random guy that came in and because I had to put him above Deidre because he's a little more lovable than Deidre.
Right.
I don't know. She's
Deidre wants to enforce pain on people.
But Partagaz, I don't know. I feel he was just the chillest of the people in that room. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, I guess there is a Luthen spy actually in that room. So maybe that's the more chill guy. But other than that,
Ginger Stash.
Other than the guy who got screamed at.
What do I sacrifice?
Who got just monologued to.
Everything.
But no, Partagaz, again, he's just kind of a side character that doesn't have a whole lot, but while he was on screen, I was kind of like, if I'm going to watch something Imperial, at least, you're here, and it's not just a bootlicker or a narc.
Right.
So I'd rather give Deidre and Partagaz their flowers than bootlicker and narc all day, every day. So yeah. Those are the only, I think, the last two of the imps
I
from
dig
Andor.
I dig it indeed. But with that, I will go on to my 88. This is where I have a newly introduced character from the Bad Batch Season 2, Phee Genoa. Wanda Sykes voiced character. She is super dope, and I will gladly own up to the fact that I was wrong about her. I was wrong, got the wrong read, and that happens. It's okay. We've moved on.
It's all right. No,
it's okay.
I'm past it too, and I egged it on a little too much at the beginning, and then I think it's just I don't know. I love her character. She'll be a little. She's with the rest of my batch, kind of the lovable part of the batch in my mind. I really hope she sticks around for all of season 3, and I hope she's around. And
she seems like she'll be. I think she'll be right there alongside the crew to try and save Omega. She seems like she's down to ride like that.
Yeah. I really hope, because I don't know, her character is so cool. Just already what we've gotten, and just the fact that I don't know, like we kind of got a little psyched out. It was Wanda Sykes I didn't intentionally mean to do that. But like I don't know. At first, I kind of was like, well, I don't know if I can really believe everything you're saying. You're a pirate, and everyone in the universe, they have their own reasons for stealing, but usually it's, they make something up in their head to say what they're doing is all right or whatever. But then you actually get back to her, I don't know, to Pabu in this temple that we haven't seen the inside of they just blue-balled us until next season, I guess. Out of this temple and all these artifacts that are across just cultures of Star Wars. But she's doing it for good reason and like to actually help people find like a home in a place that's away, not their home.
Right.
So like, fuck, Fee's
dope as fuck. I love me some Phee. The liberator of ancient artifacts. What a pimp. Right. I love that woman. And
that's right.
I'm so not feeling good about when she learns about what's happened. That's gonna be devastating.
Still have to learn. God, man.
I'm hoping that happens off screen just so I'm spared pain.
It probably won't, right? I mean, I don't want it to happen off screen, but like, well, they did. Well, because have they gone back to Pabu yet at all? No.
No.
Yeah.
Season ended and they haven't gone back to Pabu.
I think it's gonna be shown.
Yeah, the
know.
way
I
the
don't
season
want it to
ends,
be.
it's kind of like you got to pick it up right from there. You can't really take a little jump. It's got to just.
And when they go back and they're like, Omega's captured, and like, yeah, we need to go get her, but then they're like, she's going to be like, well, where's Brown Eyes? Where's, like, that I could just, they're going to get out of the ship, and they're, well,
Wait,
where's Brown Eyes? Like, it's going to
where's
be the
Brown
first
Eyes?
thing that's said, yeah, and then they're going to be like, well.
Fee, No, it's okay. Looks out over the Pabu as the sun sets and the city lights turn on.
No.
And she's reminded.
No. I don't have to deal with that until 2024. Okay? I'm already still getting over tech.
The tears well.
Yeah.
She blinks them away.
No. No.
Nope. I won't stand for it. I won't take it.
Well, I guess I got a Fee. She'll get her flowers. I got her a little higher up. I like Fee. I really like Fee. And I don't know, this season of the Bad Batch has really just elevated that show quite high for me. But my 87 is someone we've already even talked about. This is where I had Peli Moto. And another, I don't know, just fun character. That's just in the side of the show. I think I don't know, pretty much all covered of what we got going on with Peli, but I don't know, just another kind of side character that is just, I love seeing, no matter when, like, I don't want them to take up the whole show, and they're not main characters by any sense, but man, every time they're on screen, I'm like, I want more of you every time you leave. I'm not, heartbroken over it, but I love Peli. I think it is a perfect, like, adult comedy. It is the perfect, I don't know, maybe not even adult comedy, just Star Wars like SNL sketches, just with Peli. I don't know, like, somehow make that happen. But
I need it injected in my veins.
But yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So
that's the first.
I already spoke on Peli.
I think that's the first to pop up.
Yeah.
Of yours, or I'm saying, I think that's the first repeat, I guess.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think we'll right now. There's only one that will repeat for me in this episode. So
okay, yeah.
we had the Peli. Both of those are in this episode right now. But beyond that, at 87, this is potentially the largest drop off from last year to this year. Fresh off the Book of Boba Fett, I was extremely high on this character. A year ago, Cobb Vanth, I had a massive hard on for my man's Cobb Vanth.
Wait, is this 87?
This is at 87. Yes. He was at 25 last year.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I thought we lined up, but we're just one off. He's my next up. He is.
No shit.
Yes, I have Peli and then Cobb Vanth. I thought we lined up though, but okay, we're one off. But wow, that's kind of nuts that we're one off though, even. But no, I totally agree. I think he was very up high on my list last year too. Let's see, Cobb. Yeah, he was 37 on my list last time. So yeah, I guess quite the drop off, but still a cool dude. He hasn't lost.
I love the guy.
Any of this stuff, but man, I thought we did it. But that's all right. That's all right. One off.
Yep. We only had two last year. It was 82, Amilyn Haldo, and where was
Chirrut?
Where was Chirrut?
Right? Yeah, he was at 56.
Okay.
Last year.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll do it again.
It'd be crazy if it was those two again in different spots.
Again.
Yeah.
Okay. That I don't even, we'll get there when we get there, I guess. But we just gotta let it happen.
Just gotta let it happen.
But wow, Cobb Vanth, almost doing it though at 87 and 86. Wow. So I guess that already gives my 86. So I guess now you
I can present my 86. Yeah.
if you want, you can take the lead now, I guess.
This will be my first Ghost Crew pick.
Oh.
At 86, this is where I have the most recently adapted into live action, Garazeb Aurelios.
Yeah.
Love me some Zeb. That dude's so fucking cool. I think that the way he was adapted in a live action is one of the best adaptations from animation to live action we've ever seen. I don't think they've ever missed necessarily, but goddamn, did that look good? It had every opportunity to not, and wow, that looks incredible.
They did
Zeb
not
was
miss.
a super lovable guy. You know, you kind of find him down here next to Wrecker, but a little higher than Wrecker. And I think it's because he shows a little bit more dimension than Wrecker does at most points. I just love the guy. He's a big, lovable purple man, and I want to hug him. I want to give him a big old hug. Head canon. Hope they make it canon. Him and Callus are married. I want him and Callus to be together because they just have that vibe, and there's no way, like,
yeah, Zeb's really alone now, huh? Like, I mean,
yeah, man.
Or wait, was it no? Because he went back to his planet or something.
Yeah,
like
they went
that,
back
right?
to like because there was like a hidden planet that they found that he took Callus back to with him, which is like,
really?
come on now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, Zeb.
Yeah, Zeb and Callus are down. I just know it. Love me some Zeb. Love me some Zeb. Callus does not make my top 100, but Zeb did.
Zeb is on mine a little later on, but I don't know. That's you're totally right about his live action like portrayal though. They killed, like, he looks good. Like I knew, like, you know it's Zeb. You're like, well, there's not many of your kind just left anyways, and I don't think they're gonna bring in someone that looks exactly like Zeb and say that it's not Zeb, you know.
And sounds exactly like Zeb. Same voice actor.
Like, there was part of me, like, at the very, you know, like, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not, like, still for a little, you know, like, I'm like, oh my god, it's fucking Zeb. When I see a blue, you know, when I just saw him, like, oh my god, it's fucking Zeb. And then I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm getting too excited. Let's just hold on. Let's think, who else? Could it be anyone else? And then I'm like, no fucking shot. It's Zeb.
That's Zeb.
So, like, I had a little bit of hesitation, but then it was like, okay, no, it can't really be anyone else.
Yeah, man, that voice, I was just like, oh. Because I saw him, and I was like, oh. And then he started speaking, and I was like, oh.
That's just Zeb. And yeah, the VFX look great on him.
I also had it like slightly spoiled for me. That was one I didn't watch till the morning, and I got up and got on Twitter, and the first thing I saw was a picture of a live action purple Lasat, and I was like, hey, could just be a big old Lasat. It doesn't have to be Zeb. I was like, forget about it, you know. And then watched the episode. I was like, that is Zeb. Okay, cool. So, you know, like, it wasn't the sheer excitement I could have had, but I did still get excited when I heard him and saw him for the first time, because the pictures did not do him in motion justice. Like, that man, he looked good in live action. So
they did. All right.
Zeb at 86 brings us to 85.
Yeah. Well, my 85, is this my first sequel character? Have I said a sequel character yet?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so. Yeah, this might be my first sequel character, but this is where I have Maz Kanata.
Hey?
And just maybe someone who we didn't get everything of. I hope I don't know, because she's still kicking it and around, I think. I hope when Ray comes back, we get some more with Maz and the story of how she happened upon that lightsaber.
That would be the place to finally fucking do it, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I really hope we get that. But every time we checked in with Maz, I mean, on that FaceTime that we checked in with her,
right.
She's got something going on, and I need more of Maz. Whenever everything comes back around. But
she is regarded in the High Republic Adventures comic as the Pirate Queen.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, everyone follows her. I mean, did you see how many flags were there at that I mean,
Right.
like that castle or what? I don't know what you want to call that base.
It's called Maz's Castle. Like it's
it's
called Maz's Castle.
Sick. And I don't know, her character design too. Whenever she takes off her glasses and like gets up real close and looks at it, and like puts them back. I don't know. It's a sick character design and not. I guess when I first saw her, I thought she was going to be moving real slow like Yoda, and real cripple, I guess. But then, no, she's
still about it,
completely about that action. Yeah. So, I don't know. Had to slip Maz in here. And I guess she is my first sequel character. I didn't realize that, but yeah, starting off with Maz for the sequel.
Love it, love it. This is also where I have my first sequel character. You got me all excited when you said that. This is where I also have my first droid. This is where BB-8 falls.
Okay, yeah.
Adore me some BB-8. Dude's a cute little piece of shit. Love him to death. I love his and Poe's connection. When I rewatched The Last Jedi and Finn and Rose fly the ship into the base and they all start shooting at it and then they stick their hands up and then Poe's like, Finn, Rose, you're alive. Cool. Where's my droid? He's like, dude, where is he? And then BB-8 rolls up to him and he like scratches him like a puppy dog and he's like, there's my little guy.
Good.
I love it.
Good. Yeah, the design, like that's they made that thing. Like they made that thing for real. And it
and the shots where you can see that it is the real version of BB-8, not like the one they have rolling around super fast all the time. Like whenever he rolls up to R2-D2 in The Force Awakens and like bumps up into him and stuff, you can tell it's like the real version, the practical version of BB-8. So fucking cool. I love that every time Rey greets him, she checks his antenna because the first time they met, she goes, your antenna's crooked. And she like fixes it. And every time he like rolls up to her and is like, is this cool? Like, he's like, check out my antenna. Is it all right? Just a super, love BB-8. Love the connection he has with the sequel trilogy characters. Just a really, really cool, really cute little droid. Love the kid.
All right. Well, he's not too much further away, but in my droid section, which won't happen this episode, actually. But still pretty close to here. But yeah, I don't know. Love BB-8. Very merchandisable droid as well. I bet they made a lot of money on those toys. I don't know. They had like every range of BB-8 you could imagine. The plastic version that you could roll around, and then like full on super nice like
metal
$200 one that was like even just small still. Yeah, but yeah, BB-8 okay. Good sequel characters. Start up 2 orange sequel characters to start.
Look
it
at
off.
that.
Maz and BB-8. Okay.
The Force brings us together.
Yeah.
Surrounds us and penetrates us and binds us.
But someone who has been mentioned in this episode, but not actually one of your selections, was Bill Burr, and as Miggs Mayfeld, and that is where he lies for me, is 84.
Love that.
And I think it's like, I remember when we were talking to the Mando and being like, man, I really need to go back and watch Mando, and I was skimming through. Anytime Bill Burr was on, I remember I would just skim through and just like go to it, be like, I'm like, funny, Bill Burr's on in Star Wars. But then I'd watch him like, man, he's actually like doing really good. Like he's actually doing really good right now. And I was like super invested. And like I was just skimming through, but every time he was on screen, I would sit down and watch. Like I really just wanted to see. I don't know. I was really interested in his character, and like the scene with him and where Dennis would take off his helmet, and and like he's like explaining his whole trauma and all of that, and then like the build up to the shot, and then like I'm like, oh my god, this is actually like incredible. Like I'm not like, this was awesome. Like out of like I had zero expectations for Bill Burr, and then he just knocked it out of the park. So yeah, no, it's just a really, really interesting character, and I think pretty impactful on just on Din. Just the
Star Wars mythos, surprisingly
just awesome.
So. Whenever he decides that he has to shoot that motherfucker, dude, one of the best pieces of acting in The Mandalorian, period. Like, it's a fantastic work that Bill Burr did there. And the shit where after he shoots him and they take out the rest of the Imperials in the room, and he looks at Din and he looks away and hands him the helmet and is like, I didn't see anything. All right, go ahead. You did what you had to do. We're cool. You know, like, I loved that, man. Like, that was, and the way they let him go, and they're like the way
For a
Cara
moment,
is
I
like
thought you were this other guy, and then
yeah.
I guess why would you not be scared of Boba Fett? You know, I guess like
Right.
Boba Fett's walking out of the ship, you should probably still be scared of Boba Fett. But I mean, Din, I guess,
had a direct
at that time.
impact
Yeah,
on him.
Yeah.
No, but the shit at the end, whenever Kara's like, pretty sure Migs Mayfeld died in an explosion on this planet, and he's like, oh shit, for real?
Oh, yep. Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I'll see y'all later. Yep.
I'm gonna leave. Y'all better.
I'm really doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, but I don't know, an awesome character that, you know, on when I was making the list, I really like separated into shows and stuff like that at first, and then made sure I had everyone from the shows and stuff that I wanted, and he was kind of one like Deidre almost that I wouldn't expect out of The Mandalorian to pick Migs Mayfeld out of people of The Mandalorian, but like out of the characters of that show, other than the big ones, like he's
a
really
strong
liked him.
side character,
So,
man.
Yeah.
And like a character with a story that's like complete. Like if they never want to touch that character again, they never have to. Like it's good. It's done. We're cool. If they do want to pick him up again, hell yeah, I'm there. You know, like it'd be a fun character to bring back. It's like that's what The Mandalorian has always done so well, is just like the plethora of side characters they've introduced that at any point, if they ever came back, I'd be perfectly satisfied. The first two you listed in this episode, Captain Bombardier and the Duchess. Fuck yeah. If they ever want to come back,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think they will. I'm almost certain they will. That entire crew in the Prisoner episode with Shion and
Yeah,
what
that whole
was the big motherfucker's name, played by Clancy Brown. Regardless,
Hellboy looking.
yeah,
guy.
Hellboy looking
Yeah.
ass. He was dope. Like the chick that Din almost falls in love with in season 1, episode 4. You know, like that's one episode where I was like attached to their romance, and I was
Yeah.
like, this would be dope. You know, like there's just
Wow. A lot
all
side
sorts of side
characters
characters.
that just,
They're really Frog Lady, Helly Moto. We've brought her up. You know, like it's like
yeah.
outstanding. But
Migs Mayfeld. Oh yeah.
unfortunately, does not make my list. One of the ones that did make it last year that didn't quite make the cut this year. But great choice. To continue my droid run at 84.
It's
A little fucked up.
yeah.
How am I coming through nice? Coming through nice and clean?
Okay. They might have done.
All right.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Continue.
Sometimes that happens. But it's cool now.
Mhm. Indeed.
All right, cool. Gonna continue my droid run then. This is another biggie, another big guy, another big cat. It's where I have the guy C-3PO.
Okay. Wow.
I like C-3PO. Love Anthony Daniels' performance of C-3PO.
How much can you really?
How much can you love him, man? You know,
Yeah.
that dude's annoying as fuck.
He is.
But I love him. You know, it's like it's that guy that you love in spite of everything. You're like,
In the
God.
series, though, that once, you know, let me get one last good look. Like I don't know, maybe drop a tear. Like
incredible
maybe
in The
tear
Rise of
up.
Skywalker. That is
Yeah, like-
easily 3PO's best movie.
Boom.
Um,
Yeah. So I don't know. He's not all annoying. I don't want to, you know, jump off and just because I feel like that's all I ever say about 3PO is that he is just kind of the annoying one. But that's the point of the, you know, never tell me the odds. You don't get that line if you don't have 3PO constantly being like, you know, telling
the odds of you
odds.
completing this is one. Yeah, like it's
So yeah, so I don't know. You need that character to let the other characters shine in their moments. And 3PO lets one of my boys shine quite a lot. And he'll come up much later. A droid,
right.
much later for me.
I watched the Rise of Skywalker last night, so it's really fresh on the mind. And just 3PO at the end of the movie, whenever someone's like Babu Frick, and he's like, Babu Frick, he is one of my oldest friends, because he's the first person he's introduced to when his memory's wiped, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then at the end of the movie, whenever he walks up to R2-D2, and R2's like, yo, what's up? How'd it go, buddy? And, he's doing the little, the obvious R2 sounds. And C-3PO's like, I'm sorry, do I know you? And then R2-D2 takes a little step back, but he rolls back a little bit, appalled. And he says something, he whistles, and then 3PO goes, I'm pretty sure I would remember my best friend, which is just like, aw, you didn't have to include that. The fact that R2 was like, dude, I'm your best friend. What are you talking about?
Star Wars has always been, everyone likes to focus on Luke and Leia and Rey and Anakin and Vader. Every time it's always been R2 and 3PO. Right,
they're the classics, man.
The prequels, they start out, you see R2, he's the one that saves the N1, or not the N1, but that starfighter from blowing up. That's R2 doing that. You see C-3PO naked being made at the very beginning of the prequels, and then they're open A New Hope, right? Pretty much. You get the little bit on the ship, but then you go down with 3PO and R2 on Tatooine for a little bit. I don't know, they're huge parts of the story. So I don't know. I'll let when I get to R2, that's definitely the time when I'll splurge on droids a little. But he's not even close to the droid section that I do have. But 3PO is, I don't know. He's up there in my droids. He's up in the top half of droids for me, actually, and not the bottom half of my 10 droids that I have. He is number 5. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, of my 6, he is 5.
I don't know. I guess everyone that's okay. I'm interested to see how many above him
are the same.
Yeah, I bet that's yeah.
There'd be an interesting percentage there. I know 2 of them are at the very least, and I'd be willing to bet 3. We'll have to see about the 4th though. Yeah, 3PO at 84.
It's going again.
Yeah, shit. All right, give me a second. Bear with me, everyone.
That was 80. Oh, we're on 83 now? I think that's right. Is it my turn on 83? Okay. I guess my 83. I guess I'll get started. I'm sticking with the I don't know, a character that I wouldn't have thought that would have gotten in here. But I think we'll see more with him. He's kind of just started. But it's mainly it's paired well with another person, I guess. But I'll just get on with it. Is Paz Vizsla. And in the Mandalorian, I have a lot of gripes, I guess, of this season and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think that this season, his story's getting a little more interesting. We have a kid now. I guess, I don't know, maybe sort of a similar situation like Grogu. I guess more of a non-biological thing. Which I was off on the mark a little bit at first there. Which I guess, I don't know. We haven't
gotten confirmation one way or the other there.
But I don't know, contested Din for the Darksaber. He's always right side by side with the Armorer. And I don't know, I feel like he's going to be more, I don't know. He came in his badass moment when he flew in and gunned everybody down and then saw the Armorer at the top after she just took out 2 people. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't give a fuck about, Paz Vizsla, honestly, the last couple seasons. But this season, I'm actually kind of hell yeah!
I was a cool character.
I was kind of sick. I really like seeing him do that. So, but yeah, that's he is my 83. A lot of, I guess, Mando characters here for me. Migs Mayfeld, and then I got Paz. So I'm kind of going on a little Mando run a little bit, but yeah.
No, I dig it. I dig the Mando run. And those are all good choices. I do have 2 more droids on the droid run. So this is a run of 4.
Okay.
Still doing it on me, or am I sounding good? Okay. Sometimes my shit lights up like it's fucking up on me, but okay. At 83, this is where I have that man, the one with just murder on his mind, C110P Chopper.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the little guy, man. I love Hera, so I'm a love Chopper. Hera is much higher on my list. Will not be for a few episodes, but love me some Chopper. Great droid. Love that Dave Filoni very clearly voiced him whenever you know it's Dave Filoni.
Fuck. I'm pretty sure he drops a fuck too.
What the
in
fuck?
There somewhere. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah.
There's a fuck, and it's like, oh, that's very clearly him saying what the fuck.
Yeah, but
outstanding.
That is good. The order is true here. I got Chopper above my 3PO, still here. So I don't know. I do still recognize, 3PO is still down there a little bit, but Rebels is just too good, and he's the droid of the Rebels crew, and that's gonna be tough to beat when it comes to droids. And 3PO is the droid of every movie, so. That's incredible, that Chopper is beating him, but he's beating him for both of us, so
pretty unanimous that dude's one of the best droids in Star Wars. Everyone
a lot of people, it's either you love or hate. I don't know. I've heard some Chopper hate, and
I think a lot of people that do hate Chopper hate him because people just. Like, I don't think we have a ton of reason for loving Chopper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people kind of rush to hate Chopper because they're like, why the fuck do y'all love this motherfucker so much?
Yeah, honestly, why do we love him so? Like, he is just kind of like
he's a more murderous R2D2.
Yeah,
he
just fucks around. Yeah, and he's got that kill count on him, I guess. And like, what more do you got to say about Chopper? He's just a droid. I don't know. Like, he's got something in his programming that just makes him run a little more wild. But yeah. I'm glad he's about, at least the order is kind of sticking true with the droids here.
Yeah, I got one more in this little mini droid run before it'll be several spots before we get another droid. But
well, I guess this ends my Mando run here. So I guess you're on a little droid run. I'm on a little Mando run. But with Paz, I got the armor right here next to him, and that's kind of the. I feel like they both just play off each other very well right now. I feel there's just something. I don't know. I really hope we see next season and we're more in line with what we got going on, or next episode that's coming this week, and that it knocks us out of the park like everyone's saying. But I don't know. Her coming out with we only saw him as a speaking stick and forge tools, but man, she used them very cleanly as weaponry here. And
the fact that they had a fucking speaking hammer, they were like, if you have the hammer, you may talk. So fucking funny to me.
Yeah, and like I remember, I think Den was holding it, and like people were starting to like talk or like get a little loud, and he kind of like showed everybody like, hey. I'm holding the speaking hammer, okay, everybody? I have the hammer. But, I don't know, the armor got her flowers in that, little scene there. And I guess, I don't know, just taking those people out, slowly, maniacally, the guy just at the gun, she just gives him that whack. That's, I don't know, maybe not hurt because he didn't feel it, but, if you're waking up from that, you're feeling that one when you wake up. If you do wake up in the first place, but yeah, I guess I don't know. The armor is really here just with Paz, kind of they are together here. But I don't know. I think hopefully they have room to grow. I hope that she doesn't turn into like I don't know, like the villain somehow, or like she doesn't oppose. I don't know.
I think we're going mostly outer sources for Mando. Conflict. Like I think the infighting might be done.
That's good. I hope so. I really do hope so. So hopefully they can just be badass characters now on the side, fighting the Empire.
Right.
But yeah. All right.
One does hope.
Mm.
Yeah, no, love me the armor. However, did not make my top 100. Shockingly enough, did not break the seal there, nor did Paz Vizsla. Super dope characters though, and if they can prove themselves a little bit more in these last 2 episodes to be like truly good guys, because like I said, I think the infighting's done, but I can't tell you for sure. Then I'll be like, you know what? Yep, they deserve that. You know, it's kind of where I'm at on a personal note, but
I feel
because they were there, you know, like they're in the small list of characters just outside of the top 100. Both of them are. In fact, the Armorer is at 102. So like,
okay, very close,
right there, just outside. But
hopefully it's Captain Phasma, right? Is that who the theory? Yeah, that it's Captain Phasma, that the helmet's going to be taken off. It's going to be freaking Brianna Tarth under there with the small body.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, like what? How does this make any sense? I don't know. But
the timing of it all is a little off.
But hey, if it happens, it'd be really sick.
Gnarly.
What a reveal!
It'd be really gnarly. No, yeah, I love that. The Armor is a good choice. Interestingly enough, Phasma at my 101. So.
Oh.
They were the 101 and 102 that just didn't quite make it.
See. Wow.
Anywho, we are going forth with the last of my droid run.
Ooh.
For now.
Okay. Fair.
This is where we have Cassian Andor's companion, K2SO.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Still, order a little different here now.
A little different, but still above 3PO?
Still above 3PO, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured so. Then I think we're good. I think we have the exact same top 5, just in a different order as far as droids are concerned. That's I love me some K2SO. Alan Tudyk did a great job voicing that character. We have a problem on the horizon. There is no horizon.
Oh yeah, that K2 is so cool, and I remember like gives a dude a clothesline, or maybe he clotheslines Cassian actually, or like punches Cassian or something like that. But man, that's gotta hurt way more. I don't know, just like a metal punch. Like I just remember, I forgot who he punched, but man, he really just let someone have it.
There's that. In Andor, there's a security droid that is the same type of droid that knocks the shit out of Cassian.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I'm remembering.
He does smack Cassian in Rogue One when he's trying to cover that he is a rebellion droid, not an Imperial. So he like smacks Cassian on the side of the face.
Yes. Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, it was something that was just supposed to be a light smack, but definitely would have like knocked a human out, you know,
right.
Like probably like I don't know, that did not seem like a light smack. But I don't know, we kind of have a theory that K2 is another droid.
That he is B2EMO. Just in his new droid body,
in the ability where given a form that he can be that rebel, you know, do his stuff. And I don't know if we do get that. Who knows? I don't know. I like them as separate. I have them as separate here. They deserve to be separate. They are 2 very separate droids. I don't want to think of them as one until it actually happens.
Right. Yeah, because right now I have one a little higher than the other. A little higher, just a little higher.
Okay, yeah.
To quote Lando Calrissian in Return of the Jedi.
But yeah, B2, like, yeah, I don't know. The order is still sticking. I think sticking pretty well though with the droids.
Bet.
Mine just so happened to be a little clumped. But
clumped.
Right. Let's see. So yes, I'm going back to the Bad Batch here. And not actually a Batch member, a character that just showed up in this season, actually. And it is Dr. Hemlock. I
Ooh.
think maybe it's just the performance of it that's like really doing it, but it's kind of like what's his Krennic? Like just the more on the side that intrigues me, like the science, the research, but he's just maniacal about it, and he's very, and so I just don't hate what he's doing, and he's actively hurting the batch. Has Omega and Crosshair right now, still fuck that dude. But I don't know, his performance is just done so well. The theme that always follows him, like the score whenever he's on screen, he's always holding his hand. And it's in a glove, so I don't know what the fuck happened to his hand, but I hope, I don't know, we get some story there, some more on him.
A little bit of info on that.
I hope he dies. I hope the batch like kill him somehow, or like he dies through his own experimentation where he tries to give himself something and then it fucks him up. I don't know. I hope he dies a horrible death.
That'd be ideal.
But right now, I don't know. He's providing some pretty good story, I guess, for the unwanted story. But man, it's like
it's good.
It's got me on the edge of my seat. And Hemlock could be a little recency bias here, probably a little bit.
I don't know, man. Jimmy Simpson's good. And it is part of that performance, man. Like it's like that performance is so good. The voice acting is incredible. I was thinking about the other day why, whenever it comes to the Mandalorian, I felt guilty for not, Pedro Pascal in our like awards, or not our awards, but our picks for like our favorites every week. Very, very little has he been picked. And the voice acting he does is really good, but there's only so much voice acting you can do when you can't also have a facial feature expressing your emotions. Which is part of what makes animation so fulfilling with voice acting, is like, even though it is not an actor's face doing the contorting, at least there is a face contorting. You know what I'm saying? Like it is just a little different. And Jimmy Simpson as Hemlock, man, he is good.
He lets his presence be known. I don't know. He just takes over the episode when I don't know. It's kind of nuts what he does. But man, I remember I didn't know that it was Jimmy. What's his last name? Is it
Simpson?
Simpson. I thought it was. I didn't get it, but I didn't know it was him at first. But I'm like, man, whoever this is, they just like they're performing so well. Like I just remember after the episode, and then I'm like, oh, no chance, young William, from
young
Westworld?
Billy.
No way. But yeah,
don't call me Billy.
I'm interested to see him die next season, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I'd like to see it.
I
I have the theory that he is Pershing's kind of mentor in some capacity as far as the cloning science is concerned, but Pershing isn't so evil about it. He is much more like, well, I think that we could take these things that you're doing and apply them with, good intentions, but
yeah. I've heard the theory that Pershing is like the clone, like it's not even, he's like made in a lab, like he's not even like really born, like natural, that he's like an actual clone or like something made, and that the father is Dr. Hemlock and the mother is Omega's sister, who I forgot her name, but whoever's claimed to be Omega's sister right now.
Emery?
Yeah, and that they made Pershing together to help them out. Be basically
I don't mind that.
Because like Pershing does talk about how his mom was super into cloning, and
he talks about how his mom died and he could have saved her with cloning.
Oh, that's true. Oh, but I swear there was something he talked about research that. Oh, was that the only cloning part? I thought there was actually something where it was like my mom was trying to do research or something like that. And
maybe I think I need to revisit that episode real bad. Anyway, that was a good episode of The Mandalorian. But yeah, man, I love me some Pershing, and I do think he is a product of Hemlock, in some capacity. And Hemlock, one of the stronger Bad Batch antagonists so far. Already like him way more than Rampart. As a character, much more compelling and interesting than Rampart ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Scary.
Yeah, very scary. But hopefully we'll do. I do have Pershing actually. I had them very close. The two doctors, I had them back to back at one point, and then I'm like, I like Pershing a little
You're
more.
like, that doesn't feel right.
Pershing actually. Yeah,
I need to give them some space between them.
Yeah,
I
but,
dig that. I dig that. But with that, at my 81, we will return to the High Republic for the first time in a few spots. This is where I have Silvestri Yarrow, the partner to Jordana Sparkburn, the other chick I listed earlier in this episode. This character is super cool. She is she's the product of a mother named Chancey Yarrow, who actually fakes her death in front of her daughter to go join the Nihil, the villainous entity in the High Republic.
okay.
So another horrific origin story in the High Republic. They've got some pretty rough ones over there. She's got a very steadfast head on her shoulders. She's a real blue collar chick, which I really love. You know, like she goes to Coruscant and she hates being in Coruscant and stuff. She's like, it's too prissy and fancy for me. She meets like one of the Graf family, which is another, I believe it's Xylan Graf. He's the Grafs are like the rival family to the Santekas. Like they're another family that's doing the hyperspace lane mapping and stuff, trying to figure shit out. And he like gives her all this like fancy wine and stuff, and she's like, "Can I have a fucking beer?" You know, like that's the type of chick Silvestri Yarrow is, which I really really dig. I think she's a fun character. I think she's really cool, and just can't wait for more of her. I'm praying on a Jordana Sparkburn and Silvestri Yarrow comic. That would be just so cool. If it could be written by Justina Ireland and Tessa Gratton, that'd be preferred. But you know, one can wish. But yeah, Silvestri Yarrow, really really cool character. One that I really hope to see more of in the future, because she's only been in one book. It was Out of the Shadows. That was the only book she was in.
Man,
and I really dug it.
This the part of this like that they have to even deal with hyperspace. Like it's all this like early goings of like before all of the stuff I know even is a thing, you know. So I'm like, I don't know. It's just I don't know any of these characters, but it is really cool. Like just trying to put myself in the mind of this era and like that shipping. Like I don't know. That's nuts that they even had to be established in the. You know, that's just how they get around.
Hyperspace just exists.
Yeah, that's just how they go around. But no, they had. I don't know. There were people that had to figure that stuff out. But okay. I guess. Oh, we're breaking 80 now. I guess. Or just not breaking 80, but to finish off the 80s. I'm going back to Obi-Wan. And did I have her last time? I don't know. Or no, Obi-Wan wasn't even out yet, right? When we did this last time? No, so she wouldn't have been on here. But this is where I have Reva. Right here. And I think I didn't really appreciate her character at first. And then I don't know, it was just, I don't know, I think maybe I was just focused on the other parts of the show. I didn't hate her or anything like a lot of people did, you know, like, I don't know, a lot of people just had gripes about another person surviving the temple, like, oh, like, whatever, but, like, I don't know, like, her story is cool nonetheless. She survived Order 66, she barely got out of there, and she became an Inquisitor, like, the basis of her storyline is so cool, if you just look at it, like, a survived Jedi of Order 66, working directly under Darth Vader, trying to get to the top, you know, like, I don't know, it's just an incredible storyline that we got to see in a show. I don't know, that also had Obi-Wan and Hayden Christensen and a lot of other things that we were focusing on, you know, but, like, Reva's storyline, I think, was a little underrated, coming out of that show.
Tend to agree.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. It's kind of still, you know, more of a side character, you know, to me overall. Like she is still, I guess, 80 on my list total. But like that's the thing is that like this list, I feel like everyone that's on this list, I like, and I actually have some reason for liking them. Like last time, I was kind of getting to people just cause near the end, but now it's like, I don't know, it was really hard to limit some people out, but now I don't know, it's getting into, because I guess I'm nearing my droid section. So these are people that were like just almost there where I like really care, like I'm starting to care about them, I guess. And Reva's very, very close to that.
Reva's dope. I think, and this will be one that actually comes up in this episode. Not too long before we get to Reva for me as well. But you got me all excited again. You said going to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I got an Obi-Wan Kenobi character who we last saw in Obi-Wan Kenobi here in Bria Organa at 80, Leia's adoptive mother. Nice little pairing with my 79. As my 79 is Bail. I'll go ahead and spoil that. The parents of Leia Organa, I absolutely adore them. And getting to see them together on screen in Obi-Wan Kenobi raising a little Leia was fucking precious. I'll always cherish that. But what I always think of when I think of Bria and Bail Organa, not only the last shot in Revenge of the Sith with them withholding Leia and, looking out over the Alderaanian mountains and cityscape and stuff, that was awesome. But the book Leia, Princess of Alderaan, the way they helped found the rebellion or their faction of the rebellion, so fucking cool. Like Bria's the queen of Alderaan. So she can't be... Bail can't be found out because he's a senator within the Empire, but Bria can't be found out because she runs a planet.
Wow.
And that planet gets fucked in the end because of it. Just an outstanding duo, great on their feet, quick thinking, fast talking, wonderful couple, and great role models for Leia. And just absolutely love them. So I had to get Bail and Bria in here, and they're at 79 and 80 respectively.
Wow, that's awesome. They just edged out the droid cut for me. So they won't be in this episode, but they're very close together for me as well. They're paired together whenever they will come up. But I really only had Bria just for seeing what Leia's mother was like and what she learned from her mother, from her mom. It's just something that I never got to see before, and seeing how Leia was raised was super cool. Like,
right.
Just in also just enhances Leia so much. Like, I feel like Leia's not focused on at all when people are just talking about Star Wars. Like, it's, I don't know, it's Luke and Leia. Like, it's, I don't know, it's like, it's them. Like, Leia might not be the one with the sword and doing the flashy fights, but she's doing the fighting everywhere else.
Right.
So, I don't know. Seeing how she came up and seeing her values and stuff was really cool. But yeah, I guess they barely made the droid cut for me. So we'll be next episode. But so is that that was
my 79 and 80.
And 80. Okay, so now. Yeah, I haven't said my 79. That's right. My 79, I'm going back to Mando here. We've talked about him a little bit, but this is where I have Greef Karga. Apollo Creed. Is that Apollo Creed?
Yeah.
It was another one of those, moments in Mando, but now look at him. It's just an established character that we want to come back, and that is, just a character for the show now. I don't know. We don't really see him as a cameo anymore, and he's directing episodes and stuff like that, which is, I don't know, just really sick. And his character himself is really cool. The leader of the guild at first, and then now he's High Magistrate. Did I say it right, or did I forget a word?
Yeah, High Magistrate. You got it right.
What, did he not add one before that, or was it just Magistrate? And he's like,
it was Magistrate, and then he bumped it up to High Magistrate.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I love the story so far, and what he's done with Navarro. Navarro's really cool. They got to rebuild a little bit now, but it was popping. I don't know. It was looking really good, and maybe he splurged a little bit on himself, and maybe he's a little, I don't know, still. I don't know. I guess he worked for it, though. he really came from the bottom, and now he's running that planet, I guess.
Yeah, he's on the come up.
So I don't know. I want to see Navarro remain that independent, kind of in that independent sect with Mandalore and Plaisir 15. Like I just want this independent, apart from the new. Hopefully all these planets don't just go away, and like I don't know with what happens with the next stories and stuff. But
well, this is one where we were damn close. 78 is where I have Greef Karga.
Dang.
So he was right there. Absolutely adore Greef Karga. I think he's a wonderful character, and he's one of those, we were talking on the Patreon a couple weeks ago is what I'm going to go ahead and call it, about the original trilogy and like the over-the-top acting style they kind of used, this like serial style 40s acting. I think Carl Weathers implements that like perfectly as Greef Karga. He feels very, very original trilogy-esque anytime he's on screen. And I absolutely love the dude. And especially after this season of The Mandalorian, the whole you may not have a home planet, but now you have a home. I was like, this dude's fucking awesome. I love this guy.
Him getting up on the rocks out there, like just there taking his people outside Navarro, and they're like, he's like, yeah, this is a good spot. I have a platform for me to stand on and make my speech. Right. Citizens of Navarro. I don't know. He's awesome. I love him. So I don't know. It's cool.
He was at my 78. So
okay. My 78. This is where I have Shmi, Annie's mother, and I think I have her. Maybe she was one that didn't quite make the list last time. I think actually, but that I wanted to include, and I was just rewatching Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and like her performance isn't really that great, necessarily. Like it's kind of, I don't know, but like the lessons that she teaches Anakin, like right before she, like, I don't know, it's just Anakin like realizing like, oh my god, I get to go off on this starship and become a Jedi, and then he doesn't quite realize yet that he has to leave his mom behind, and then he's running off, and then he makes that realization. He's like, Wait but Shmi knew right away, she's like, but she's so happy that like her son gets to go off and like and everything. So
he gets to escape that life, she never wanted her son to be a slave, and he gets to elevate beyond that, get out of that lifestyle, and she couldn't be more happy for him. Yeah, this is one that shamefully I forgot about. This is one that probably would have made my top 100, but now it is too late to implement.
Well, that's the thing, is that sadly she's forgettable, because it's really only at the Phantom Menace at the very beginning, of Anakin's story, and then they leave completely, and then the only time you get her is when you come back and Anakin kills everybody. So you're very distracted by what's going on screen whenever Shmi's there. So, but I just think it's more
one of my favorite little tidbits about Shmi, and I brought this up before, but in the Attack of the Clones novelization, it kind of illuminates for us why Owen Lars would be willing to take care of Luke. And it's not because it was his stepbrother's son, it's because it was his stepmom's grandson. He loved Shmi with all his heart. Like he didn't view her, he viewed her as his mother. So like when she came into his life and took care of him, when he heard Luke needed taken care of, it was because of Shmi he was willing to take on that burden and take on that life now, which is super cool. Like, love me some Shmi, and the whole. I wish like she could have delivered the line, but it's like Anakin delivering the line. That's like that she said previously. You always say the biggest problem in the galaxy is nobody ever helps each other. Like we know that the biggest problem in the galaxy is that people never help each other, is a quote from Shmi apparently, but Anakin said it, so it's like like there's a balance there. But nevertheless, I love that character, and I love the way that line is like pulled through in The Rise of Skywalker. Biggest problem in the universe is that nobody ever helps each other, and then they don't have a navy. It's not a navy, sir. It's just people. And they all just showed up to fight the First Order. Like, that's so fucking cool. It's wonderful. I absolutely adore it.
Man, and I don't know how it happened. I don't know how she got pregnant. I don't know. Was it just forced baby? Palpatine? I don't know, but she got dealt a pretty shitty hand, and still found all the positive light through it to teach her son everything she needed to teach her or teach him. So, man, yeah, hard life, but badass character nonetheless. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
had to have her here.
Super cool lady. Super cool lady. Love that choice. I will go for a super cool lady as well with my 77. And I misspoke earlier when I said Reva would be later on in this episode. I forgot that we're going to 76, not 75. So a little spoiler for the beginning of next week. But at 77, this is where I have Qi'ra, portrayed by Emilia Clarke in the movie Solo.
Oh, no.
Did you kind of forget about Solo as a whole?
Oh, no. Yeah, I guess I have K2. So
that's Rogue One, though.
I mean, not K2. Maybe that's the other droid that you don't have. L3.
L3, yeah.
Would be not K2, but L3. That's the other droid. So I didn't, I guess, forget it. But maybe. Oh, yeah, Qi'ra. I don't know. I guess out of the movie, I always sadly forget about Qi'ra's character.
Qi'ra's dope. I love Qi'ra.
Yeah, Qi'ra is dope, man. She deserves to be on here for sure.
She's about to get a novel here soon. She's got a bunch of comic book series out. Like she's a really, really established character in the ancillary material, which is really, really cool. And the brief stint we spend with her in Solo, also a pretty badass character. I'm praying that we can get Emilia Clarke back in that role before long. But yeah, like you said, not much to go on about her. I think she's an uber badass. Her training with Maul to fight, like, that's fucking cool. She's a badass. There's a panel in a comic where she actually fights Darth Vader, which is like,
she comes out of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow.
Okay. More respect, Qi'ra. Respect.
And it matches panel for panel perfectly with a shot of Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting Maul in The Phantom Menace. Like the drawing of it, so it's like Obi-Wan trained Anakin who became Vader, Maul trained Qi'ra who's fighting Vader in this moment. Like, super cool. Yeah, like Vader never uses the Force or anything in that sequence, or else it might have gone a little differently. She had a little bit of plot armor around her at that point, I have to say so myself. But she is a badass. She is a badass. And Qi'ra, just love her. Just love her.
Yeah. Well, my last two kind of go together. And it does round off, the list. I don't know. I had Shmi, and the last two is Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. But I do put Aunt Beru above Uncle Owen.
As you should.
Yeah, because I don't know. Whenever she like that little hidden compartment with the guns and like it just made more sense, like
badass, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know. I had like Shmi, Uncle Owen, and Aunt Beru kind of all here at the end of the list. Just kind of making it, just the people who took care of our main characters at the beginning. And I guess there's not a whole lot on them, but in Obi-Wan it was cool to see them, again and get more backstory on them. Because with just the movies, I mean, you really don't really think about them a whole lot, at all. But
nah, they get fried to a crisp, and then Luke doesn't even really think about them. So it's like,
So I don't know. It was nice to see him in Obi-Wan and actually give them some character traits and make Aunt Beru a badass. See. I guess maybe Luke got his whininess from Uncle Owen a little bit, possibly.
A little bit.
But yeah. But I guess that does round off my list. I guess that is at 77 and 76. But
cool.
But yeah.
Cool, yeah. To round out this episode for me, this is where I have Yaddle. Love me some Yaddle. I think that's where the Tales of the Jedi increased how much I enjoy her character. Recently, there was a book in the High Republic that just came out a couple weeks ago called Cataclysm that she is a much larger character of than any other High Republic novel, and it was just so cool to see because there's this little sequence where her and Yoda actively work together through the Force to get something done, which you just don't see like ever. like those two of the same species working together to accomplish something was just super, super cool to read. And Yaddle, she's a teacher. She's really cool. She takes care of a youngling throughout that book, and just a wonderful, wonderful, powerful character. And a year ago, this character was far from my top 100, and this year she's here. Love me some Yaddle. Love me some Yaddle. So she rounded my list out at 76 here for the first part.
That is good. I don't know. I'm glad. I guess the people that were kind of down here, on my, like, now I'm getting into my droid. So, like, this was kind of just the below the droid. And I don't want to make it seem that I think of these people as lower than droids, necessarily. But it's just kind of side characters that I haven't really been able to connect a whole lot with. But I recognize that they're still cool and badass in their own right.
Right.
And Yaddle was definitely on there. And Tales of the Jedi really helped that. For me, but I don't know. I don't know. She seems pretty crude. Like, I don't know. I love just the theory of their species being the Jedi, and that how they only come every now and then, and she's just the one on the line. I don't know. I hope we get just some, I don't know, more Yoda and Yaddle somehow through Grogu. I don't know.
I don't know.
I know it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I don't know. More
a
on them.
Little brief history of the species would be nice.
Yeah. We know nothing about, like, how they're born, how they do they have
name?
partners?
We don't know their home planet.
Yeah, like Yoda never had. They're all Jedi, so like they're against having partners. But like, how do they reproduce? Are they the only ones? Is there another planet of them out there? We don't know. But yeah, we need. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe through Yaddle or maybe more Tales of the Jedi episodes. I don't know. Who knows? Well, she did. I don't know. Kind of die.
She died.
But she's been I don't know. She's like 200, 300, 400, right? 5.
She could
4?
pop up in the Acolyte.
Yeah. I don't know. Just an actual English speaking, someone from that species. I don't know what to
Doesn't do the whole.
Yeah, for whatever reason. And I don't know, it's gotten people to like think of how Grogu's gonna talk. Is Grogu gonna just talk normally? Like, I guess he talked like his parents. So, like, I don't know. Do you think he try to mimic Din as much as he can, or is he just gonna talk normal or not at all? In what do people say? Yoda speaks in
riddles.
Riddles. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I think he'll speak like Din. Like he'll speak how he's learned to speak. It's interesting that the idea that Yoda grew up in a different time and therein, like, they spoke like that at the time, so he speaks like that. Like, I think that's
Yoda.
A fun idea.
He could just be that old. And he is. I guess he is that old.
He is pretty old.
But,
I mean, Maz Kanata doesn't talk like that though, so who knows?
That's true.
But
he needs to seem wise.
Yeah, it just gives him a little bit more of a wizened energy. But yeah, Yaddle, she could be, Tales of the Jedi, it was about Dooku, that arc.
Mm-hmm.
They could do a 3-episode arc about Yaddle.
Yeah.
Nice little brief touch point in there. But yeah, I think with that we will conclude the first part of the new top 100 here on the Penny Bloom podcast for Star Wars characters. I'm going to run down my 76 through 100 here real quick, and then after that, Joe can go ahead and rattle off his. At 76, I had Yaddle, 77, Kira, 78, Greef Karga, 79, Bail Organa, 80, Bria Organa, 81, Silvestri Yaro, 82, K2SO, 83, Chopper, 84, C-3PO, 85, BB-8, 86, Zebarelios, 87, Cobb Vanth, 88, Fee Genoa, 89, Queel, 90, Orson Krennic, 91, Ronin, 92, Wrecker, 93, Grand Admiral Thrawn, 94, Jordana Sparkburn, 95, Affie Hollow, 96, Pelimoto, 97, Emperor Palpatine, 98, Kelleran Beck, 99, Ram Jamaran, and 100, Black Chrysanthemum.
Oh, it still hurt hearing them that low, but it's okay. I understand. I understand. I'm not actually mad. But starting at my At 76, I got Aunt Beru. 77, Uncle Owen. 78, Shmi. 79, Grief Karga. 80, Reva. 81, Dr. Hemlock. 82, The Armorer. 83, Paz Vizsla. 84, Miggs Mayfeld. 85, Maz Kanata. 86, Cobb Vanth. 87, Pelimoto. 88, Partagaz. Is it General Partagaz? I don't know what his title is. I just have him as Partagaz.
Major Partagaz.
Yeah, Major Partagaz. And then Deidre, I guess, what's her title? I don't just Deidre.
Agent.
Agent. Yeah. Agent Deidre at 89. I got Bendu at 90. 91, Plo Koon. 92, Yaddle. 93, Nalase. 94, Tala Dirith. Dirith. 95, Asajj Ventress. 96, Hondo Onaka. 97, the narrator, or Tom Kane, or
Admiral Yularen.
Yes, you do it far better than I.
Admiral Yularen.
98, Dexter Jetster. 99, the Duchess of Plaisir 15, or Lizzo, and 100, Captain Bombardier, or Jack Black.
Love it. I love it. So in this episode, we had 4 that didn't line up necessarily, but were repeated within the episode itself, if I remember correctly. And Yaddle, Grief Karga, Cobb Vanth, and Pelimoto.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how many line up within the chunks we give. If I had to guess, though, a few of the ones I listed, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by my calculation, will be stuff you say later on at the very least.
Yeah. 3, 4,
at minimum.
5, 6, 7. Yep. And 7, 8, 9, I believe. 10, actually, that I have bolded on mine that I think I will say later.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
And I'll get to them later. I'm just guessing, like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this one's got to be there. This one's got to be there. So we'll see. But yeah, it was a good first part, and I can't wait for part 2, 3, 4, and probably 5 because this went way longer than our first part 1 did last year.
Indeed.
By a good hour. So could probably expect this to be in a few more parts than last year's was. With that, I think we will conclude this episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive Star Wars content. Not exclusive Star Wars content, but a lot of Star Wars content. Talk about that for most of the stuff over there. Comic books, movies, just general discussion, all sorts of stuff over there. Book reviews. That can all be found over there. Patreon.com/PennyBloomPod. For $3 a month, you can support the podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money, and I don't make any off of it unless it is over there. If you would, head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. We are currently rewatching Game of Thrones in our Winter is Blooming podcast, so please go check that out. We are also doing a comic book movie journey through film, and we will continue that this Friday. Don't know exactly when I'll put this out, but something's coming out this Friday, and it's a comic book movie, so you're going to have to check that out. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom, and may the Force be with you.